so we are good to go. All right, everybody, what's up? Good evening. Welcome to this week's edition of the Hot Seat. I am your hostess with the mostest. We have an amazing group of panelists this evening, and we're getting ready to have an incredible dialogue. Our open relationships, the new normal. That's a whole hot mess. It just sounds like a whole entire hot mess. Anywho, allow me to introduce you to our amazing panelists for tonight's segment. We have a great friend of mine who is no stranger to the platform. He's been with us for season 1 and now back in season 2. He's an incredible, incredible coach. He's been coaching long before coaching was even popular, doing some incredible things in the Sunshine State. He is my coach as well. So I told you guys all the time, the coach has got to have a coach. I want to introduce to you guys Mr. A.D. Roberts. Give him a snap, clap, show some love. Put your hands together. Welcome, A.D., to the platform tonight. First time back in season 2. Welcome. Welcome. We got another cutie pie in the room. I mean, it's the 3 cutie pies in the room. You know, I'm just saying. But we got another cutie pie, a birthday girl this month in the room, honey. And she is the proud owner of an amazing company that, when I tell you the lip gloss is fire, F-I-Y-A. Yes, honey. She is incredible. She is a corporate America phenom as well, doing some amazing things in Atlanta, Georgia. Let's give it up for Christina Jackson Gusby. All these names in the building. Christina.
Gusby is the government name. Okay.
Leave it with Gusby. I'm used to Jackson, so y'all forgive me. It's Gusby, all right? Then, of course, we got another beauty in the building. My sister from another Mr. and Mrs. The Red Wine Diva has an amazing segment that she does, and she is no stranger to the makeup and beauty industry as well. She is a model in her own right and has been doing it for some years and does some popping work out here in these streets. She's an educator and a phenomenal sister. Welcome, Janika Lachey, the Red Wine Diva. Y'all show your love.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. Good evening.
Yes. And then we got the educator extraordinaire, the bearded one in the building, representing for the light-skinned brothers in the ministry tonight. He is a phenomenal educator, a super duper rising author, and he has an incredible show that he has hosted on Sunday nights that will soon be syndicated. Mr. CJ Randolph, y'all show your love for CJ in the building. CJ, welcome on in. And then, of course, we got to have somebody represent the Troublemaking Ministries in the team. Gotta have somebody represent. He is a best-selling author, and he's a golf superstar. He loves golf. That's like his second thing to do. That's most important in his entire life. He is a techie and does some incredible things in the technology industry. Mr. Darren Baker is in the building. Y'all show your love for Darren Baker. All right. So after all those wonderful, lovely introductions, we're going to dive right into the topic of tonight. It's going to be juicy. It's going to be informative, and it's going to be enlightening. I can tell you that much. So as always, y'all always know I get these interesting dialogues and topics between coaching and just having conversations with people as I cross paths with people, because, you know, I love to communicate and connect with people, and I like to hear what people are thinking. And now, since I am in these clubhouse streets, I have met a lot of interesting characters in the clubhouse ministries. If you are not an Apple user, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about right now. You may be aware, but you don't know until you get an Apple device, okay? Because it's a whole hot mess. But anywho, I was on stage and I was actually moderating with some interesting relationship gurus. I can't mention their names. Because y'all know Clubhouse is not recorded. You can't record anything. You're not supposed to be recording anything from Clubhouse. But anywho, so I posed a question about the way that we connect in millennial dating. All right. So the panel tonight is all unmarried people currently. Not saying that they're available. Nobody said that. I wanted to make sure I qualified that before we got into this topic so their DMs will not be blown up with foolery, okay? I know we have relationships, all right? We're not going to even get into all their personal business. We just wanted a panel of people who actually are not, quote unquote, traditionally married today. All right, everybody clear. Everybody clear? We don't need nobody. Okay, all right. So nonetheless, in the dialogue that we were having, I posed a question about our inability. I don't know why my screen keeps cutting up. Our inability to be transparent relationally in the time that we live in. And so I said, is open relationships just the new norm? And a guy responded, and it was very intriguing, his response, but we're not gonna get into that because it wasn't real spiritual at all. It was not for this platform, okay? But he said some good things. And of course, as we have this discussion, we're gonna dive into it. But we're gonna do what's called popcorn tonight, which means that I'm not going to pick any particular person except for to start off. But from there, everybody can just dive in as they feel compelled to share about this topic, because I know everybody has something incredible that they can say about this topic. So we're gonna just go around the room and then we're gonna fire off from there. Everybody cool with the popcorn effect? Everybody good with that?
Yes.
Awesome. All right, let's get it crack-a-lackin'. Since AD, this is his first time coming back to church. We appreciate you being back in the fellowship.
Amen. Amen.
Cracking with you tonight. AD, are open relationships the new normal? What's going on with our new dating game?
Well, I don't think it's a new normal at all. I don't think there's anything new about open relationships. I think that people are probably more transparent in this season than ever before. People have always had open relationships. That's just nothing new. We've heard about them. We've been a part of them. It's nothing new. So as far as it being a new norm, no, but is it more openly accepted? Quite possible.
That's a great answer. All right, we're gonna keep going around the room. I need y'all to go ahead and light up, talk to us. Darren, you are looking like you got ready something to say. Go ahead and say what you got to say.
Well, I can't speak for everybody. In my younger days, that might have been fun. As you get older, you got to put away them crazy things. But some people may not think that's crazy. And then I want to ask you, what is the definition of open relationship? Or is it one that gets out or both get out?
Fabulous question. Now, that's a fabulous question. There is a vast number of understandings about open relationships, but I will read this, okay? Open relationships.
Where you getting your definition from? Where you getting the definition from?
Sir, it's not one of those situations.
Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That I have put down for the sake of the dialogue. Is that okay?
I just want to make sure we clarify everything. That's cool. Go ahead.
This is not my college classes right now. I don't have to do a reference page, okay? Yeah, see, I told y'all we got to have a troublemaker in every congregation. You got to have a troublemaker. Open relationships fall under the largest category of consensual, non-monogamous relationships. The expression of this type of relationship is when one or the other parties pursues a sexual, emotional, or mutual attachment to a third, fourth, fifth party, and the like. That is open relationships defined according to P. Koffe Brown, chapter 1, verse 8. All right.
Duly noted.
Duly noted, yes. Well, go ahead, Darren. You didn't tell us your part yet. You just got my definition.
Yeah, it's a lot. Like I said, in my younger years, I may want to do some things like that, but as you get older, that's not for me. I don't know if I can handle it. You got to be a strong brother or a strong female to be able to be in love with someone, to be in an open relationship and said, okay, well, you can go do your thing and I'm gonna go do my thing, and then we'll hook back up at 10 o'clock and we'll get back together again. That's it may have always been happening like Dr. Roberts said, but it's more open now, it's more out there. Some people are looking for it, some people are not. I'm on the record of saying I'm not for it right now. I was back then, but not now.
Oh, not current tense.
Exactly.
Duly noted. All right. Come on, Christina, with that birthday look going on in that corner up there in the top of the screen.
I don't think it's anything new. I think AD said earlier, it's more people are more transparent now, and I think people are more accepting of it. And I don't think it really has an age attached to it.
Exactly.
You know, so I think it's really about. I think some couples explore it because they have desires to maybe be with other people, but they still want to be, you know, with the person that they're with.
Right.
But I don't think that is anything like new. I think it's just more talked about now.
That's ironic because, you know, they were saying in the room on Clubhouse, do we all even know that we inside of an open relationship? We kind of tapped into that dialogue in another discussion. We're talking about how we connect and how much information we have to divulge with somebody that we're dating. How much do I have to really tell you if I'm dating you? So that was another question that actually came up in the dialogue that we had. Like, do we even know we in an open relationship? Does anybody like really come home and just say, hey, I'm with you and her and him?
You better.
The end.
But you know what, Mr. Dr. Roberts, I think you're saying you better, but how many people do it? Like Miss
Fair enough.
Coach Koffe was saying, I think with this whole new, like I say, it's nothing new. It's just more open. It's with everything, you know, everything's changed, times changed. So a lot of things are more acceptable. Not that we're all in agreement with that, but that's what it is. We're in that time. And I was listening to you, but I was also thinking, when you said, do I come home and say, hey, I'm dating, but how many people are married?
Oh, we left them out of that. We left them out.
But how many people are married and don't know they're in an open relationship?
It's not open.
Yes.
That's not an open relationship.
That's not no.
And it's not open, but somebody's outside dating other people.
Right.
That's cheating.
You know? So I mean, you can look at it so many different ways.
AD said that's a whole nother ministry.
Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
All right. So do I think it is the new norm? I actually don't think it's the new norm. I think more people are more open to an open relationship and exploring it because it's being more acceptable. But I still don't think that we're inherently selfish.
Right.
And so therefore an open relationship deems some selfishness and we get what we want because I can maybe get a little bit of this. Maybe I want some cornbread this day and over here I want some greens, or over here I'm hungry right now. Sorry. Maybe I want some mashed potatoes, right, on this day. But inherently you start catching feelings for somebody, right? And then now y'all have that open dialogue. You say, hey, this is what it is. I actually know someone that has a contract that says me and you are in this contract, and he has a contract with the ladies and they sign it. That's an open relationship.
Wait a minute, hold on. Stop the car. I gotta get out the car and I'm sitting on the side of the highway because all the tires are flat now. Did you just say that he got a contract?
So yes.
Have you
so
seen
therefore I have not seen the contract. I've heard about bits and pieces of it. But therefore I can't knock it because I've talked to two of the ladies that we were out with one, and then like a couple weeks later he was out with another one. I'm like, huh. And he was like, nah, I have an open relationship. She knows about her. They know I have a contract. The contract states this. They sign it. So I can't knock it because it's in true transparency. He is saying, this is what you agree with when this happens. And if you agree with it, cool. If not, cool. So I can't knock that. But I don't think
the age limit of these people.
He's about my age.
What's your age?
30. I'm 37, but he's about 35. Yeah.
Okay.
And so
I
think really what it comes down to is you can look at the millennial aspect in their dating, and I'm going to say something in our culture that women are more aggressive than what I grew up in. And so as I've heard and seen of where ladies are being more like guys, and we're just like, hey, I just want to smash, and then we can be cool without it. You know what I'm saying? Other than what the traditional aspect of guys are, they're just after women, or ladies for one thing, and then the lady catch feelings and this and that. And now it seems to be more of a balance of that. And it's more people are like, I'd rather just have what I want from you and that's it, and then go get something else what I want from someone else. But in true transparency, they may feel that way at first, but what I have seen, other than this contract situation, is that they get into it and they realize it's not what they want. And so that's where the selfishness comes in.
Legal and binding. So
no.
Emotions attached to it.
Correct.
Go ahead, Eddie. Go ahead, Eddie.
I got to put my hat on, because this white shirt is telling another story about, you know, who y'all talking to tonight. So I'm gonna put my hat on and see if I can jazz things up a little bit.
So who we talking to now? Who we talking to now?
Old days. All right. He's speaking to one side, and I understand the dynamic of him saying that it is a selfish thing. However, in the true nature of an open relationship, doors open and close, and they move in both directions. So just as, you know, the man can see other women, well, guess what? So can the women see other men.
Right.
So so I think actually it is not necessarily selfish, but if you're in a truly open relationship, it winds up being selfless, because you have to remove yourself out of that equation of blocking someone from experiencing the thing that they want to experience. So the more selfless you become, the more polyamorous the more polyamory you experience. So that's just to add to that dynamic. I'm not saying that he's wrong. I think that it was a perspective typically from the male from the male perspective as pertains to women. But listen, the sisters are enjoying themselves. In fact, from my perspective, even as a coach, the sisters are enjoying open relationships more so than the brothers. I'm just being honest, because a sister can go on Monday, she got a dinner date. Tuesday, she got a lunch date. Wednesday, she going to the play. You know, she's enjoying herself. And the old.
So is it open or is it dating?
No, it's open. I'm talking about open. I'm talking about she has her significant friend. She may not be married.
Okay.
But she has a significant friend, and she has other friends. And everybody knows about. Listen, let me tell you something. I got some friends with some stories, bro. It is hilarious. Like, I have gone out and met up with, you know, a female friend of mine, and she had both her boos with her on the same date. No lie. And I mean, walking down the sidewalk arm in arm. This is not anything.
With everybody together?
With everybody together. She is the most open, transparent, honest sister you will ever want to meet. And if you want to get down with it, you're gonna have to accept. You're gonna be the brother husband or whatever you want. Brother husband, whatever you want to call it. So again, it is let's jazz this thing up and let's get real.
Yeah.
This is a dynamic that is definitely more widely being accepted. And people are exploring it because, you know, let's face some facts. Sisters tired of the foolishness, and they want to put it on two controllers. End of story. There's no two controllers. Now, that's where the brothers get a problem, when they put it on two controllers, and they don't understand, you know, because they just used to doing their little thing off to the side. But when you're open, honest, and transparent, and everybody knows what's going on, you know, then things are a little different.
So let me clarify what I meant by selfish. The selfish part was that I still don't think it's normal, because we're selfish, that we don't want work, especially even like you just said, guys are not willing to say, oh, you're going to be with him today. And, you know, where people will have a problem with it. That's why I feel like it's not the norm quite yet. But I feel like we're getting to that point. Like, to your point, I think it is less selfishness to be in that and share someone with other people.
I'm just in the space of, okay, let's get to the gritty part, because I want to talk about some grit. We've been PG and 13. I want to get to the grit.
Get to it. I told you I put my hat on. Come on.
Yes. I'm like, my whole thing with this whole dynamic is the exchange of energy, the sexual part. Who gets the benefit from that? I mean, like, who gets the no rubbers, and, you know, who gets all of the girl throwing the tricks out, and, you know, old boy giving it 110%. I mean, how are we protecting each other in these processes when people are moving like this? Because if I'm booed up with you today and I'm booed up with Bill tomorrow, which one of y'all not gonna get the benefit? I'm sitting there thinking in my brain, or are we just because
I don't think, I mean, like you said, I don't think nobody's thinking about that. You know, if like you said, if we're being honest, that's not the thought process, you know. And I guess when I think open, I'm first person, the thing comes to mind is the T.I. and Tiny situation that has brought so much forefront to everybody.
Oh yeah.
And so everybody was talking about that. So they brought women into their home, you know, allegedly brought women into their homes and had.
They brought people in that house.
Huh? Say it again.
Those people in that house, they did it.
Yeah, I'm not saying they didn't. I'm like I said, what I don't like. Look, we on this show. I don't know none of them people, so I say allegedly, but I may believe it happened. You know, but again, like it's what it is. We look at Will and Jada. I mean, it's what's been said. It's what's
now.
happened.
Let's go back to Will and Jada. Stay on Will and Jada, because they have openly admitted that that's
their relationship. Yes,
problems. You know, but again, that's on a different.
Monique
trajectory.
Monique and her husband.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's on a different trajectory, because that's called swinging. That's not the same thing. It's both. It's actually on two sides of the coin. Because actually, with Jada and Will, they've said that they were swingers, so they actually partner with other partnerships.
With other couples.
Normally, with open relationships, it's a gender at a time. It's not a couple at a time. We're open, because swingers and open are two different types of dynamics
with couples.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they do couple to couple. With open is just a person. It's normally not, you know, me meeting up with. I can't use AD with that hat for because example. I can't do it with the hat right now. I got the hat on. Keep the hat on. I need you to keep the hat on, but I was gonna use you in the hat just threw me all off. So say for instance, like me and CJ are together, and then Christina and AD are together, and we just basically partner swapping. So that would be swinging. You know, we're both committed to each other and we're swinging. But on the other hand, me and CJ is together, but CJ is kicking it with Christina at the same time. That would be the open trajectory. That would be the difference between the two.
Does open constitute both sides being open, or
that's what I'm trying to figure out, because
one gender at a time. It's not like a orgy, if you will. Swinging is more like orgy kind of borderline orgy kind of behavior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? With open relationships, it's usually where, like what CJ was saying, minus the contract, is basically both people saying, I see somebody else independent of you, not with you. That's what open normally is like.
Okay.
Yeah.
But AD brought up something that I hadn't even contemplated. And you know, I need to meet your friend. I need to meet her anonymously or something. I need to find out how she
I can line that up.
Yeah, line it up anonymously or something. Because AD just clearly said that his friend, she literally is dealing with more than one guy at the same time in the same space, in the same exact energy. I'm like,
and everybody's okay with it.
And everybody's okay. To the point where I was like, sis, how you gonna end this night? How's this night gonna play out? And I'm like, we all playing pool, we having a good time. I mean, this is interesting.
I mean, somebody feeling Nice.
You know, so I'm like, how y'all gonna end this? They went back to the house and
Baby, it's a whole vibe sound
it's
like.
a whole vibe. You know, they went back to the house and she left them on the sofa, you know, because at that point in time, I think some egos came into play.
Oh.
So one fella was watching the other fella and was gonna make sure that the other fella didn't get more than he got. So they both sat down on the sofa, fell asleep, and she went and got in her bed. You know?
And I think it goes back to what CJ said. That's selfishness. That goes back to what he said.
That brings that point. Yes.
That brings back that point to what he said. That innately we're human beings and we feel. So regardless, like you said, at the end of the night, somebody felt some type of way.
But they stayed till the morning.
However it went down, but somebody felt some type of way.
AD,
somebody felt some type of way.
Like this.
But AD said it best though, because this is what the key to what AD said was, I gotta make sure somebody else didn't get more than what I got. So ain't no way I'm leaving. I gotta stay till the morning, because if I leave, that's automatic. Somebody gonna benefit and I'm not benefiting. That's automatic.
Right.
So that, man, it's crazy, because I think of all the risk factors. I think about what CJ said about the emotional aspect. I think about it from the sense of, you know, when the emotions come into play, what's really gonna pop off with that? Because everybody is not gonna be, you know, all wise and mature.
You have to.
Not at that time.
I believe the key to a successful open relationship is clear transparency every step of the way. Not one secret, not one date that the other person didn't know about, not one, no secret whatsoever. I think it can be a beautiful thing if people are honest with themselves first and accept the fact that jealousy is normal.
True.
It's not something strange. It's not some anomaly out there. Jealousy is like, wow, you know, I love her and I can't see her today, you know, so I may feel some type of way. So how do you embrace that? You just do. You embrace the fact that you are human, like you said, you know, you're human. And this is something that human beings experience, because, you know, we kind of covetous, you know, we kind of want what we want, and we want to, if this is mine, this is mine.
Yeah.
Right. Everything is mine.
Right. You know, but is that healthy? Where does that lead? Where does that lead to? I think there's a strong level of maturity for people who truly operate from an open relationship, a true one, not, you know, and I've seen it, you know, where everybody participates, where the guy dates and the woman dates too. I've seen it where the man dates and the woman she good. She like, I know he doing his stuff. Let him go and do his thing. I see him when he get home, you know. There are a number of dynamics out there, but again, I think the peace and the beauty comes in when everybody knows what's going on and there are no lies and no secrets.
Agree.
So, Christine, let me ask you a question over there, Christina. You know, being all cute and quiet over there in that corner. I can take that microphone right on out. I got a question. Somebody just sent me a message. They said, considering the facts of everything that you guys have stated, is that really a legitimate relationship, or is it just two people that want to say they're in a relationship but don't know how to have a monogamous experience?
Is that for me or the doctor?
No.
She called your name.
No, Christina.
Oh man. I think that's a good question. I don't think it should be like, it should be broken down so much. So like, is it two people who don't really know how to have a monogamous relationship? Because they may want to be in a monogamous relationship, but they want to experience something different. And a lot of times when you see open relationships that I'm aware of, they have certain parameters, they have certain rules, certain things that you cannot do, certain things that we have to communicate about. And so they establish those rules early on before they even get into that. So I don't think it's necessarily two people who don't want to be monogamous, but I do think it's people who want to experience, you know, something a little bit different, but they've set some guidelines on what they can and cannot do in order to be in that.
So let me ask you a question. I'm gonna ask the red wine diva while she over there cleaning her glasses. Let me get her ready while she cleaning the glasses. So the next question just came in. Oh, this is for the fellas. Hold on, red wine diva. This is for the fellas. If presented to either of the guys on the panel, would you be open to having this experience? Why or why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the hat. It's the hat. I'm convinced. It's the hat.
The hat does it. The hat does
it. The hat gave him a whole level of freedom that wasn't present.
He said, "Why not? Sure, bring it on."
Yeah, sure. That was easy.
Yeah, why not?
So and why I would is because I don't think love can truly be parameterized. I think it cannot be caged and placed into a box. I think these constructs that we were born into, I think they were created by people who were afraid to lose something. But it doesn't. But who's to say that the construct of monogamy is the only way to operate? Who's to say that it's unhealthy to be in an open relationship? You know, I find that people who have the courage, and I use this word with intentionality, people who have the courage to live out loud, people who have the courage to love themselves and to love someone else at the same time. I think love cannot be, you know, locked into this box. So you just don't cut it off. Oh, I don't talk to them the most. I ain't in love with them. You can still, all of us have been, we old enough. I'm 50. So I'm old enough to have experienced being in a relationship with someone and still having feelings for someone else. Right. If we go honest. Right. So this thing of polyamory is very true. And it's actually very natural. So are we gonna start embracing ourselves? Are we gonna continue to play this game of lying to ourselves about what we really, really want? And that's male and female, because they painted this thing into, because this monogamy thing was painted by men who were afraid that women would have more than one man. You know, it was a construct that was created that was about control. And I think those days are gone, really. You know, women, moment by moment, year by year, decade by decade, they're beginning to be, they're free. I mean, come on, Koffe, you know, what you do, you kind of, you're edgy, you're out there, you're brokering dialogues that are fresh and stuff that people don't necessarily talk about. That's why this is the hot seat, you know. So why would I do it? The question is, why would I not? That's the real thing. Why not? What am I afraid of?
The hat gave it to him, y'all. The hat has given it to him, baby. Listen. Yes. Give him some snaps. The hat has said, let me tell you what it really is on tonight. So Darren, same question is posed to you, and then after you, CJ. I mean, I know you mentioned earlier.
You know what? It would be nice to actually experience it, like my brother to the right said. It would be nice to experience it, to see exactly what it's really about. At least one time, to go out and say, hey, I'm doing you and you. Now, I'll be back in a little bit, okay? So I'm letting you know what's going on. The contract stipulates in such time, I get to do da. Now, also, flip side of that, like the two-way door, the other way go around. Listen here, baby. I'm going out tonight with da 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 da. I said, damn, tonight? I thought we were supposed to be, is it our night or is it his night? What night? What's going on here? That's where the feelings come in. Or I don't know.
The whole change in his whole pattern of behavior when it flipped over to the woman having that.
Because
did you see the ego jump in the building real quick? I saw it.
Hey, like I said, I'm man enough to say that because let me say, because after a while, I'm gonna get tired of you doing it. I'm tired tonight. And of course, it takes a little more energy for us men than it does a woman.
How so? Who told you that?
Well, I'm gonna say this.
Uh-huh. Go ahead, say what you got to say, baby. You got about 15 good minutes. Go ahead.
It takes a man a little bit more get up and go than it does for a woman to get up and leave. So, I'm gonna say that, and I'm gonna leave it right there for the PG. But what I'm saying is, it takes.
Let me say it for the PG-17. So what you're basically saying is, it takes a little longer for his penis to respond again to the same pattern. Is that what you're saying? Because you said get up and go. You said get up.
I'm gonna add on to that. It takes a little longer for us to stand back up again than it is for the woman to move on to another person.
So again, we're going back. It's the penis that we're talking about, right?
Pretty much.
Okay. Yes. Let's be clear. Let's be real clear. That's what we're talking about. Okay. We don't want the viewers to be confused about this get up and go, and they don't know what's got up and gone. We want the people to know. When we can say penis, is healthy to say the word in proper context, to say it properly instead of the street name. But anyway, go ahead.
Well, but that's it. That's it for me. And I don't know if I can do it. Like I said, I would like to experience it maybe when I was younger, when I had a little more get up and go.
Yeah.
Get up and go. But as you get older, you mellow out a little bit. So
I don't know. AD, he don't sound like he mellowed out at all.
I don't know that you mellow out, but okay.
Well, you get wiser. Like I said, you eventually know it's fun in the beginning, and eventually somebody will catch feelings, whether you catch feelings or the other person catch feelings. Based on your level of maturity, you may not be able to handle that. They may not be able to handle it. I'm saying I don't know if I could, but it could be just reversed to the other way. Like AD said, the door goes both ways.
But Janiqua said it best. She said that it has nothing to do with age, because even in maturation, we still have emotions. That's not going to change from being mature.
Emotions do not change. You're right, but you're very wise in those decisions that you make as you get older, though.
Listen, that open door ministry.
Should be. You're right. Right.
Listen, that open door ministry. I don't know. Yeah. CJ, listen. The question is posed to you, CJ, and I see you sitting all back trying to get yourself together before you say what you got to say. Don't be conservative about it. Go on and speak your truth. Do you need a hat?
No, I don't need a hat. No, I'm one that I have absolutely no desire, never had any desire for any of that. I'm a one woman man, and I want her to be a a one man woman. I am selfish. I will admit it. I want my boo to be my boo, and that's it. And I'm also one that I literally, like, my moniker, my motto in life is do unto others and done to yourself. I want to be fair. So for me to come in and say, well, I don't want you to do this, but I'm gonna go do this, is not something that I am cool with within myself. Some people, hey, if that's you, that's you. That's not even me. Right. So for me to want this, but say you can't do this, that to me is a hypocrite. And I refuse to be a hypocrite.
That's true.
Now, that's me. That's me. So whatever desires that I may have or want in this feeling or this is something that I will have to address with myself, address with her, and I guess in a way get over it, maybe have to take my hat off if it's getting too bold, right? But that's where transparency is, regardless of whatever relationship that you're in. Right. And I think that's where us as humans, we are afraid of, if I'm that honest, what's gonna happen. And so, like you said, like Dr. AD said, that's why there can actually be some beauty in an open relationship, because I'm 100% transparent with you. I have nothing to hide, right? Until there is something that ends up being hidden,
Right.
which I don't know if it can happen. If it can happen, it can happen. I know I don't want it to. I don't even want to go down that road, because I want to focus on you. I want you to focus on me. And after that focusing, we no longer need to be together. Then on to the next whenever I'm healed from that, right? So that's me. That's me. That's Carl Jermaine Randolph, CJ Randolph on the hot seat. That's me.
I like the different views on the whole concept of the idea, period. Because, you know, it's cool. I like how AD just came right out. I was like, yeah, let's get it. You know, and I love how he gave this perspective of why monogamy even really exists. And in all truth and honesty, if you go back to historics, anything historically, you always saw a mismatch as it pertained to relational monogamous behavior. The monogamy was on the woman's end. The polygamy was on the man's end for the most part. So it's always, like AD said, it was this control mechanism, because my ego says that you can't give that to somebody else, but I can give this to everybody else. That's what my ego tells me. Everybody can have this, but you can't give that. I'm gonna pose the same question to the beauties in the building. We're gonna start with this red wine diva over here. How she looked like she contemplating the situation. Listen here, red wine diva.
Contemplating it. I know for me, again, I'm kind of like CJ, and because I will not lie and say I've experienced a lot of things in life, but one thing for sure, I'm selfish. And again, if I'm dating someone or in a relationship with someone, I want them to be in a relationship with me and me only, you know. And I've been on the other side where the dishonesty comes in, you know, and I've been there. And I've also been the person who's been dishonest, you know, and I know what that looks like and I know what it feels like. So what Darren said, at this age, I'm good. I'm good with it. You know, that's nothing that I need to do, you know. But do I knock people who that's a thing for them? No, I don't. Everybody has their own thing. And like you said, the honesty and the beauty in it is because you can do that in all sincerity and enjoy it and have that understanding. And this is what we're going to do. And I think that that's a wonderful thing for someone else, but not for the kid.
Not for Kid Capri. I got you. Christina, go on tell the people how you feeling over there. Because you know you're gonna be blowing up tonight. You and the red wine diva. Saying, you know, I heard you on the show. And, I like how you said, you know, I know you said you're a one ladies kind of, you know, a one man kind of lady, and you know, I just wanted to see if yeah, something like that.
Koffe, I'm like you, this lady, I definitely, and not saying that I've not pulled some stunts before, but that right there is epic. The two dates and hand in hand, and at the end of the night, especially no brother that I've ever dated is going.
We're gonna get on Zoom.
Going, yeah, we gotta meet her.
Listen, we're gonna get on a Zoom conference call. Her name.
I'm a pretty bad girl, but that one right there.
That's a pimp move.
I take my hat off. I take AD's hat off to her.
Yes. You know, like you said, I have pulled some stunts and I found myself in some situations where, you know, everybody knew about everybody else, but did everybody get happy when everybody showed up in the same place? No. The unhappiness began to manifest when, you know, you was over there and you saw me with him, but you already knew he existed. I don't know why you feeling some type of way. I already told you, but now that everybody is at the same sandbox and we're all trying to play with our own sand, you want to get over here and act ugly. So I've had that experience before where, you know, like this is my whole thing. When I was in my serial dating chapter of life, everybody knew what was popping. Now I'm dating you, I'm dating you, I'm dating you. Now, here's the thing about the male brain. That equates to I'm screwing you, I'm screwing you, I'm screwing you, which is not how I move. Okay. Everybody is different on how they move. When I say I'm dating, I'm talking about from the neck up. I'm not talking about from the neck down. So if I say I'm dating you, Jack, and Bill, I'm not screwing you, Jack, or Bill. I'm enjoying my life and I'm living my best energy with all three of y'all. But ain't nobody coming to my house and I'm not going to yours. That's how I did my serial dating prowess. Everybody moves differently. Like I said, everybody moves differently. But some people, like everybody said earlier, some people cannot handle the idea of the probability of something happening and they not knowing about it. And that's where the ego comes in.
The funny thing, the key thing is 80 bought, that's a great, 80 has a good example. He said at the end of the night when they got home,
perfect example.
The two people, like, she was like, all right, well, y'all think I'm going to bed. They both on the couch. And that showed right there, like, hey.
Great ego.
Yeah, the egos was there, but she was like, okay, it's been real. And it's funny you said, I remember turning 40. I remember turning 40 on my 40th birthday. I had all my exes, boyfriends, everybody was there, but I wasn't dating anybody. And by the, like you said, the egos was that somebody, well, you invited him.
Probability.
You invited him?
Probability.
Honey, yeah, I invited everybody. This is the big 4-0. Of course I did. Now, looking back on it, I'm like, girl, you crazy. You what's crazy? You know, so that's the farthest I've gotten, AD, to having everybody in the same room.
Right. And that's, look,
I did the same thing for my 40th.
Yeah.
Everybody knows their position on the team.
Yeah.
Everybody. I mean, but that's the thing about it, and this is what I love about the mature aspect, like what AD was saying earlier, even with CJ. The mature aspect is to just be open and truthful about who you are and what you're doing. Now, if you don't like my explanation or it doesn't resonate with you or you don't believe it, that's going to be on you. That's your problem in your situation. The way that I'm kicking the situation to you is the way that it is. It's not you accept it or you don't accept it. So, I just feel like we all can play in the sandbox of life. If you want to get over here and play with me, I'm cool. We can play. But don't cross over. If you see somebody else making a little sandman next to me and you got a problem with how his sandman, no. You go back over there on your side of the sandbox until you can get yourself together. Because I understand human behavior. I remember dating this guy. And yeah, I only been in love one time in my whole human experience. And I was gone. Like, I was deep all up in it, like really, really all in. I remember going out and I saw him in a restaurant across the way. You know how like the town center is in Jacksonville, but the town center is here, like same, it's all the same thing in every city where you have all these different restaurants and venues or whatever. Now, if you're really into somebody, you can see them from a distance, right? So I see him and he's sitting at a table with this lady, right? So you know what I did. He looks at the phone, puts it to the, to voicemail. I said, let me call again. He sends it the voicemail and then sends me a text. Hey, I'm gonna hit you back in a little bit. I'm in the middle of something. You sure right. I politely go in the restaurant. Now, mind you, I had already made my decision not to act brown. Okay, I said, I'm not gonna act brown, but I'm gonna make sure he knows that I know. Okay. I go in the restaurant. I graciously go by the table. I say, hey, oh my God, how you doing, boo? Whatever. How you doing? I'm Koffe. Da da da. Oh, hey. I said, I get the same face. What I said, okay, baby, just call me when you get done. And I walked off, right? Because I was gonna make sure that she knew that something was with Bang, okay? But I said all that to say this. I was probably about 36. And that was my first real life experience with a guy just being like himself, not negative, not positive, him just enjoying his life. And I remember when he came home later that evening, you know what he said to me? He said, this is why it's hard to deal with having a relationship with people, because y'all can't handle, he was talking about women, y'all can't handle when it could possibly be a friend somewhere else, right? So my whole response to that was this whole open dialogue concept of open relationships and everything else. It's the thing AD said earlier. It's about the truth. It's about the truth. And that's the part that just kind of made me become conscious of the fact that a lot of people just are not going to be that brutally honest about what it is that they're doing. No. They're just not going to do that. The people that have the courage to come to somebody and define with that contract situation, or just in verbal communication, or the scenario with your friend and the guys, people that have the courage to do that, I respect those people. What I don't respect is a person who makes me believe that something is this way, when in fact it's nothing like what you made me to believe it to be. Right. That's where the problem lies. And I think if people can just be forthcoming and say what their truth is, if that person wants to be in agreement with it, they'll agree with it. If they don't, they'll find somebody else.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
Truth
no to answer your question.
And you said no, Christina?
No, to answer your question. Would I be in an open relationship?
You said no?
I'd be open to a sexual experience, but not an open relationship.
Wait a minute, go ahead and you hey, go ahead. No,
you got to qualify that statement.
Well, I'm in a relation. If I'm in a relationship and the guy that I'm with wants to have a sexual experience with another woman and me, then I would be open to that.
Okay.
Hey, that's another show. Can we have that show?
But I would not be open to an open relationship. I wouldn't. Not like I'm seeing somebody, he's seeing somebody. I wouldn't be open to that.
Ms. Brown, the question's on you. Let's see what you have to say.
Hello.
Everybody.
Did you lose up in the AD? Can you hear me? AD, can you
say hear me now?
I can hear you. Did you say anything? CJ, I know you there.
Yeah, I'm here. I mean, okay.
I want to make sure.
I'm here. I'm here. I just don't know where she went.
It looks like she's there. Her mouth is moving, but ain't nothing coming out.
Nothing.
The hot seat got hot.
The hot, it's blazing now.
The seat is on complete fire. No, I honestly don't know. I don't know because I'm kind of like on the fence about it. I understand my level of selfishness, and I don't share well in the same box of life when it comes to relationship stuff. So I don't think I would really honestly be a good candidate, but my curiosity would be piqued as far as the experience, quote unquote, in itself. Nonetheless, I don't think my heart and my brain would be in agreement. I think I would have an internal conflict with that, because I'm gonna be looking at him like, you taking all that and you going where with it? I think I'd be in. But on the same token, if I say you bring all that over here, and I'm like, oh, okay then. So I think I would have a very serious internal conflict about it. I wouldn't say I'm closed to it, but I know that my personality, I don't think I would be able to handle it, to be honest with you.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't say I'm close to it, but I don't know about me being able to handle it. I don't know if I walk in that level of freedom. I mean, I'm free, but I don't know if I can deal with all that kind of free. That's a little bit on the extreme free side.
Yeah.
I need a hat. I need to go upstairs and get a hat.
You need a hat. Bring your hat next week. Bring your hat next week.
I need to bring my hat next time. But listen, it is the top of the hour. As always, the dialogue was very fluid. Everybody was really transparent and open. Again, this dialogue was intended to kind of just bring light on a topic that is kind of flies under the radar a lot of what we see and we hear and we experience, we don't talk about. You know, pretty soon we're going to have a show and we're going to talk about everybody don't want to be no wife and everybody don't want to be a husband. So what does those relationships look like? We're going to have that show soon. You know, if I don't want to be a wife, if you don't want to be a husband, then what does those relationships actually look like? And that's something that, you know, again, in the time that we live in, it's now reality. It's been reality. It's just been closed reality. But now everything is out in the open. So we want to continue to have those type of dialogues to where we can express and just share our truths. No one on this panel is a quote unquote professional as it pertains to the psychology of the mind and human behavior and all those things, but we are experienced beings and we've lived life. For the most part, everyone on this panel has had a long-term relational experience that extended through a period of time, and it caused us to be who we are, or it played a role in who we are today and how we think and what we perceive and what we believe relationships are all about. So with that being said, we want to thank all of the incredible panelists for being with us tonight. A.D. Roberts and the alter ego that came with him. Darren Baker, the troublemaker. The red wine diva, Janiqua Lachey. The gorgeous birthday girl for this month, Christina.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Then Darren, Cash App her, Darren, okay? Cash App her. We're gonna leave that on you.
People really do that? They do that? Okay.
Oh yeah, because after that, listen, people don't see what happens before we go live. So he owed you some money for that stuff that happened before we went live, Christina. Take the money, girl. I'm just playing, Darren. Y'all, I'm just playing with Darren. It's a joke. It's a joke. And of course, CJ Randolph, Mr. Exclusivity himself. Thank you for being here as well, CJ. We always enjoy all the perspectives and the wonderful energy that everybody brings to the table. As soon as we log off, these amazing individuals will be sharing with you how you can access them and what platforms they're accessible on inside of the chat. So you can connect with them directly, keep up with them, the projects that they're working on and what they're doing next, and how you can participate in what it is that they're doing. We have some incredible things going on with all of these amazing individuals on the platform. So make sure you check out the chat to find out more about them and how you can connect and how you guys can start to build another relational bridge to help you to continue to have amazing, successful relationships. I am P. Koffe Brown. I'm your hostess with the mostest, and this has been this week's edition of The Hot Seat. Next week, we have an incredible author. He is a superstar phenomenon, and he's going to be on with us for a solo interview on next week's edition of The Hot Seat. You do not want to miss it, and you will see about this book that he wrote and why he'll be here solo. It's going to be a little intense next week. Until next time, grace, peace, and blessings. Good night, beautiful humans. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see y'all next time. Thank you for the love from our panelists. We love y'all, and thank you for your time. Love y'all. See y'all next time. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Good night.